What is going on, everybody? This is your host of the Colin Thompson Show. I hope everyone had an awesome weekend. We are coming to you live here from training camp. At least I am, August 7th, 2020. Jack and Justin were here last week, which was so cool for us here at Not For Long Media, like I said. And I echo those remarks again this week. It was such an awesome thing having these two guys down. They were true professionals. They made some awesome content. We've been displaying some of it this past week. On Not For Long Media, on our channels of the Colin Thompson Show, on my personal profiles as well. So just an awesome job by you two. First off, thank you guys for being here. We have more episodes to come with great Panther players, more fun and funny stories to come out of it. Again, can't thank you two for coming down enough. I always bury the lead and I forget to talk about who we have coming on this week. We have your Commanders quarterback, the Washington Commanders quarterback, Taylor Heinicke, joining us this week. So we're really excited to have Taylor on. Him and I are both XFL alumni. He barely played, if he played at all. I don't think he played at all in the XFL. And he came on the show a couple of weeks ago, pre-camp. These two gentlemen joined me as well in the interview. So I figured we'd have Justin and Jack back in the house today to talk a little bit about the Taylor Heinicke interview. But before we do, I want to talk about our friends over the Original Fudge Kitchen. We did some awesome stuff in front of Fudge Kitchen. So shout out to our team, Jay, Brad, and Rossi that were there down at the Jersey Shore, doing the big J journalism, the tough questions. I thought the questions were a little easy, Jack and Justin. I'll be honest. We were giving away money, $1 for easy questions, $5 for, a harder question, $20. So, next time I'm going to challenge our team to maybe pump out a little bit harder question. And I'll say this, our fans around the Original Fudge Kitchen, Jersey Shore, are really smart football fans. So I think we underestimated, but we don't underestimate the fudge and sweet treats at the Original Fudge Kitchen. They ship fudge and sweet treats across the country, fudgekitchens.com. They're the best in the business. It is unbelievable, especially to ship it, the quality, it lasts forever, weeks, and how creamy and just savory the flavors are. So check out our friends at fudgekitchens.com. They ship it across the country. I'm going to surprise the tight ends. Some of them may be in here right now. We have a couple of viewers right now with some fudge here at the end of training camp and the rest of our team down here with some fudge. So there's nothing better to gift somebody than Original Fudge Kitchen fudge, fudgekitchens.com, shipping fudge and sweet treats across the country. All right, so I'm going to send it over to Justin first. Justin, you are a Washington Commanders supporter. You're a Colts fan. You touch a lot of different fan bases, which I respect. Some people don't respect that. Some people say you got to be from. As Jack just rips his water and the audio explodes. Thank you, Jack. Very professional of you. So, you touch a lot of fan bases. You're like a BYU fan. You're an Oklahoma fan. You're like a local guy, a Maryland Terps fan. So, like, talk to me how talk to me about your fandom, what level it's at for the Washington Commanders, or you're just a giant Taylor Heinicke fan.
So I'll be honest, you're right. I'm Colts are my number one, and I do get a lot of crap from people that, when I tell them all the teams I'm supporter, because I have my number one's the Colts, and I'll support the Commanders, and I'll support the Ravens to a certain extent. My BFF John Harbaugh. But if I had to power rank them football wise, it'd probably be Colts, then Commanders number two. Being in the DMV area, watching local Fox 45 or whatever, you get to watch a lot of Commanders games. So I've been fortunate enough to do that. So that's kind of how it started, was just, growing up watching them on TV. But yeah, it's that's a fan base that hasn't had a lot to cheer for in recent years. So I do try to, I want to pick my spots, and I don't want to be just like a fair weather guy. I want to be in there when they're losing. I want to be in there when they're winning. But you're right. Taylor Heinicke, our guest this week. I watched that playoff game when he almost beat Tom Brady, and I was like, this is my guy. I had heard of him in the XFL, being an XFL guy. Shout out St. Louis Battlehawks. So yeah, that's why I really wanted to have him on this podcast, because I knew that you guys would connect instantly over your shared journey of the XFL to the NFL, just grinding. So yeah, really lucky to have him on this week.
Yeah, it was great having him on. He's an awesome guy. We had him on for a full hour, and he kept it loose. He kept it light. Jack, what'd you like about the interview?
I thought, like you said, he was very genuine. He kept a lot, he seemed like a lot of these guys, all of our football guests have been great, but like you kind of mentioned before on your other episodes and stuff, like guys can be very PR when it comes to things and they stay within their bounds. Taylor, I mean, he's great. He's just natural at it. He's just naturally funny. He's just a good talker. I mean, some of the stories that he shared that some people probably haven't heard before that we talk about that I won't disclose until the show is released about Minnesota, New England, his time in Washington. I mean, it's just the stories he had were truly incredible. And I could definitely see a career for him in this industry if he wants it after his
Oh, for sure. He's got a great story. It's a great point by you, Jack. He's got a great story. You know, he's got paid in this league too for like crazy, like from where he was to where he went to now starting in a playoff game to, you know, going through all the ranks with Minnesota. We go through his whole career, which is pretty cool. Again, we had him for a full hour, which is really fun for us. Shout out to our friends over at Som Sleep, guys. I wonder if Taylor uses Som Sleep because this is a product that I absolutely swear by. There's a lot of products out there in the world that we, you know, have handed to us as professional athletes. Hey, give it a try, give it a try, give it a try. This is the greatest thing I've ever put my hands on, especially when it comes to sleep. And that's no BS. Like I sleep like a rock. I have no grogginess in the morning. It's changed my life professionally. It's helped me become a better athlete, better person. I go to bed earlier. I wake up more spry. I just feel better. Get some sleep. Use promo code Colin or any of the promo codes that all of our podcasts have. Our whole media network have their own separate ones. So use promo code Colin or BATS or BWF or Bourbon with Friends or G's for our G's, whatever that may be. But check out our friends at Get Some Sleep. It is the best product, all natural, easy to bed, rise in the morning, not groggy. It's the best sleep product on the market, best I've ever touched. They throw everything at us. Trust me, guys. So check out our friends at Get Some Sleep. Okay. So there's lots to talk about here. Jack had something to bring up about these Guardian caps that we're wearing for training camp practices.
So there's been a lot of talk across the league, fans. The introduction of Guardian caps being mandatory for interior players starting this training camp. There's been a lot of controversy. Some players have been very out of, we don't like this. It just messes up practice. Some players are just very, like, doesn't matter to them in the slightest. At the end of the day, I think it's great for the NFL, helps reduce concussions. To me, it doesn't seem like it affects much. That's why I was curious for your Con. What is your opinion having to use the Guardian caps at practice every day? Are you pro, anti? What is your stance on the Guardian cap?
I am 100% pro Guardian cap. In the world we live in today, where there's more science, there's more knowledge, you know, sadly, a player passes away and they use their brain to see, you know, what's maybe going on in there. And you're seeing a lot of CTE, right? It's no surprise. I signed up for this game. I know the risk with this game. So anything to protect us, especially in practice for the little bump, the little knock, you know, sometimes a little goes a long way with the concussion and the head stuff. So to avoid the little bump or, you know, when you bump heads with a teammate and you don't really mean to, or whatever that may be, whether it's the most violent training camp practice or it's an in-season practice, you're going through a drill and maybe something just goes a little awry. Now you're protected even more. And okay, it looks a little goofy for a picture, but at the end of the day, I'll be wearing it all season long in practice, and that's an option. I think they come off after the second preseason game for guys, but I think it's a fantastic thing that the NFL has done. I think the NFL does a great job of listening to what's going on, seeing data constantly evolving. Okay, we know there's an issue, not an issue, but we know that there's injury risk in this game. All the players sign up for it, 100% injury rate. But here's a great way to protect our players a little bit more. If it gets it 10%, 20%, 30% better, I think every player would say, sure, let me wear it, because I don't notice it in practice. I don't feel the difference. I enjoy it. So, and really talking to a lot of guys on the team, they enjoy it too. I haven't heard really anybody complaining about it in our organization. So it's a great point by you, Jack. Justin, you know, you're involved in a lot of baseball stuff with Breaking Bats, our other podcast with Brian O'Grady. What are some of the issues that you see in baseball health-wise? Like guys get hit in the head, guys get hit in the face. You know, could you see, has baseball adapted some of their helmets over the years? I think they have.
I mean, there are a lot of guys that have definitely moved to like the more expanded guard around the mouth area. I think Giancarlo Stanton was the first one when he got hit in the, like, it busted his face up. So now guys kind of have that shield that kind of covers most of their face. I think back also when you're talking about that, some pitchers, like they've worn the baseball caps themselves that kind of look goofy, but they have a little more padding in them. I'm not sure if anybody still actively wears those, but that was a conversation a couple years ago when somebody got hit in the head, and then he came back whenever it was, and he had a padded hat that looked like twice the size of a regular baseball hat. So I don't know what kind of the momentum is on that, but you touched on the only question I would have with the Guardian hat is like if it affects like your running, like do you feel it like heavier or anything? But it sounds like it doesn't even notice it at all.
I don't. It's amazing the technology on them. I know they've evolved a lot over time. I think we had them at Temple at one point in time, and they were a lot. Again, this is 2015, 16, probably we had them. And it's a long, it's 6-7 years ago at this point in time. So, I think they've evolved a lot. And I love it. Jack, you played youth football. You played high school football. Do you wish you had something like this while you were playing?
Yeah, definitely. Like I was mentioning before, I mean, we've had a lot of like my teammates would go out and get their own like running backs and stuff like that. And they were big for, I mean, these are kids that had a lot of concussions growing up. And there was definitely a difference when they started wearing them in practice during 2 days and stuff that they really didn't have any more head injuries. And you're starting to see a lot more nowadays, even the 7-on-7s. The kids, they look like leather helmets almost, but they're just like a Guardian cap that you just wear by itself during 7-on-7s and just open air stuff. And I think those have been a massive help as well. Cause I mean, you're wearing no pads or anything during that stuff during the springtime. So yeah, I mean, I'm all for this sort of stuff. I definitely think I wish I could have prevented a few concussions during my time for some of these.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it. I think I've had more in practice than I've had in games. And we practice a lot in this game. And I haven't had a ton of concussions in my career. But in this game of football, like I said, it's not, we practice so much and we play 17 times a year. So it's so unique in that aspect where other sports, basketball, you're playing 82 games, hockey, you're playing 82 games. Practice is a different thing. There's a lot of lifting. There's a lot of, if you're a jump shooter, you're shooting foul shots. It's like a lot of technical work. Football is an orchestrated event where you need, a lot of humans. That's another thing with the NFL that I was shocked when I got here is how just the minimum amount of people it takes to run a football team when it comes to players we have. Now they've expanded the practice squads, which is awesome. I think they should continue to do that and get it as close as they can get it to 20 as possible. And not just, hey, you need more players to practice against. Yeah, of course. But you have more volume, you have more numbers, more players get paid. I get that. That's an expense that someone's got to pay for, but it allows, players to continue to grind. It allows some sort of a little bit of a farm system and allows players to be healthier. So, I think the NFL's done a great job, over the years. Obviously, we added a game, more risk, but the game's gotten healthier. I always tell that when I talk to parents, because parents ask me, my little Johnny's not going to play this year and all, and that's okay. They got to really love football to play it. But I personally think that the game is way, way safer than it's ever been. Not too long ago when I was playing youth football, we had to earn our water breaks, maybe 1-2 a practice. Right now I have, an unlimited water opportunities. So it's a different, it's just a different game. It's a great game. It's a safe game. Talk about a safe game. We're bringing back some old friends here, Not For Long Media. Wealth Advisory Services. If you don't know them, you should. Check out our friends, wealthadvisoryservices.com, located in Cape May, Jersey, all the way up to Bucks County, Pennsylvania. They really are, have a ton of popularity, a ton of clients in the tri-state area, but they work with people across the country, which I think is fascinating. Paul, Dave, and their team, over 100 years of experience of just independent wealth management from the, beginning investor who doesn't have a ton of money, strategies moving forward, to someone who's looking at the back half of maybe retirement, what's ahead, estate planning, tax conversations. I've had them all with Paul and their team. I'm very lucky to have them in my corner here, someone to bounce a lot of things off of, especially with the market the way it is today and how the world of finances is ever changing. Wealth Advisory Services, if you don't know them, you should. If you want to get in contact with them, hit up their website or just reach out to me and our site here at Not For Long Media, and we'll put you in touch with Paul, Dave, and their team at wealthadvisoryservices.com. Okay. Listen, we're going to do it. We're going to do it. I've been fighting it, but I think it's time to start doing some ratings, start ranking things. Everybody ranks things. I shy away from it in football because I don't want to rank players across the league. I don't want to rank these different things because I have a lot of great teammates, and I think they deserve to be on a lot of lists, and I don't want to upset anybody. So when it comes to rankings, it's a little harder for me to sit here and say, hey, I'm going to rank these tight ends or rank these quarterbacks, or because they're great. They create conversation, but I don't think they're all fact, obviously. Right. So we are going to be ranking a lot of fun things here at Not For Long Media. And we're going to be doing it across our family, across our platform. So our 4 active podcasts right now, Bourbon with Friends, Geez, Breaking Bats, and the Colin Thompson Show, we'll be ranking every week a top 5 of a fun thing. Justin and Brian do a great job, ranking all these type of things when it comes to baseball. I was ready to run a couple off, Justin, but you guys do a ton now. What are some of the fun things you've guys done ranking wise?
I mean, my favorite is top 5 guys you'd want to have your back during a fight. That was my favorite. We just picked a combination of the biggest dudes and also ones that are kind of a little unhinged when it comes to that kind of stuff. So we did that. We
Aaron
do
Judge, Stanton, your boy, what's his name? Vogelbach.
I had Dan in mind. Yeah. I had Adam Frazier. He's 5'10", 190, but
Brian O'Grady. I put Brian in mind. You guys left Brian out. You should have had Brian in your list. Now I know he's on the MLB, but Brian should be on your list. I know Brian. Brian and I actually got in a little tussle back in our day in basketball days together. So yeah, Brian's a tough dude.
Who won?
We never. Nothing. It wasn't anything big. It was I was the freshman, sophomore, trying to be physical, and Brian didn't like that, and I probably was a little out of place. I probably was. We got to talk about it. We'll have it on and talk about it, but. Yeah. Brian's I was very scared, but Brian had a biceps popping out, of the womb. He's just a jack dude. Sorry, Justin, what else are you guys ranking your top 5?
I mean, we've done top 5 some cool nerdy baseball ones, top 5 non-all-stars you'd want to build your team around. Top 5 starting pitchers you want on the bump during the winner take all game. Just we try to vary it a little bit. And then we've even done baseball movies and some of stuff around baseball, but it's cool that we're expanding that out and doing some more fun stuff with this show and all the other ones.
Yeah, you guys are absolutely killing it. Again, baseball fans out there, Philly fans, your Phillies are hot right now. I'm loving it. The NL East is hot other than your Washington Nationals, but neither here nor there. Sorry, Justin. Great trade the other day, by the way.
Oh, come on.
What do you think about the trade, Juan Soto? I know we're dipping into your side of the tracks here a little bit, but what do you think about that?
So I went through all the stages of grief. And now I think I'm just at acceptance at this point. He turned down $440 million from the Nationals, and with the ownership situation being kind of up in the air and them not being sure who's going to own the team next year, if he wasn't going to take 440, I don't know if they really wanted to go over that. So, and personally, I just don't think any player is worth $500 million. I'd much rather have, it's like what the Nationals did when they didn't sign Harper. They went out and they got Patrick Corbin. They got all these other guys with the same exact money. So I'm more along the lines of that mindset. The 5 prospects and Luke Voigt they got back are all very, very good. So, it may seem a little lopsided now, but give it 3 or 4 years and then the Nats will be back. 2025 World Series champions.
I'll say this. I just love people with strategies, right? Everyone wants Soto, you lose them. Yes, detrimental. Yes, there's no salary cap. I get it. But they have a strategy. I wish the Flyers had one. Tottenham, big win the other day, baby. They have a strategy, right? We had Nicky Pumpkin on last week. Hope you guys enjoyed that. He talked a lot about the Premier League and the different things that come with that. But if you have a strategy okay, listen, we're going to get rid of the best player in baseball, one of the best players in baseball. We're going to get a ransom back and restart our franchise, take the 550, divvy it up, sign some new players at an affordable rate that are still all-stars, and they end up winning it that year when they traded for Harper, like you said. So, or when they traded or didn't re-sign Harper, I should say. The Phillies did, which has been great. He's been a great Philly. Obviously, he's hurt. But, yeah, Phillies are going to be scary when he gets back, and I think he will come back. I think he will. So that's neither here nor there. Okay, folks, back to your regular scheduled programming. We talked a little baseball. We talked a little Hotspur Premier League. Again, if you're a Premier League fan listening to this and you didn't get the chance to listen to Nick Pumpkin last week, he was unreal. A buddy of mine just absolutely killed it, just breaking down the Premier League. Every team really just did a great job. Okay, this week we're going to be rating wings. Flavors, you like your wings. How you like your wings done. So Justin's going to narrate this. Justin, you're going to ask Jack for his top 5 first, then me.
All right. This is a big deal. When you go out and you get wings with the fellas, you don't want to go get the lowest on the Buffalo Wild Wings wing flavor chart. You don't want to be the guy that gets Like, I don't even know what the lowest would be. You don't want to be the guy that picks up sweet barbecue. You want to get some wings with some taste, with some, charisma. So that's why we're going to go to Jack Connell first for your top 5. Give me 5, then go up to 1.
All right. So coming at 5 is just a traditional dry rub hot wing. So, just a nice little dry rub with a nice fried wing, crispy, not real a lot of sauce to it. Keep your hands clean. That is my 5th. Coming at number 4, lemon pepper. Just a nice traditional lemon pepper wing. Again, just keeping it simple, exactly like the dry rub, just crispy on the fryer. I told you coming in, Colin, this is going to be a little bit controversial. Number 3, I have the hot wing. Just traditional, basic, hot, like whatever, like the 8 out of 10 type hotness scale. Number 2, I have garlic parm. Can't go wrong with garlic parm. And number 1, I have mild. I'm a mild guy. Again, I'm not traditional with these. I love all of these go blue cheese, by the way. I am blue cheese ride or die when it comes to my wings. So that is my top 5 wing flavors.
Very interesting. Very interesting. I believe I'm up here, Justin, since you will be giving yours this week on the Breaking Bats episode. Again, check it out. Breaking Bats, awesome baseball podcast with Brian O'Grady and Justin Ayers. Okay, so for me, first off, Jack, how do you have hot and mild on the same list? I'll never understand that. You're just feeling spicy that day, and then you go for a hot wing. So to me, number 5, we're going to go with the hot wing. Love a hot wing. Absolutely love it. Again, these top 5 for me, I'm all in on. Like, these are the ones I eat all the time. So let me switch that. I'm going to go 5 garlic parm, 4 hot wing, 3 barbecue, 2 teriyaki, and 1 honey Old Bay. The best wing I've ever had. So the teriyaki wings at the Seaview Inn in Cape May, New Jersey, which were the bar of the week for us a couple weeks ago, the best in the world. The honey Old Bay wings, Chop Tank, which is in Baltimore and now in Annapolis, unreal. Check those out. So that's my top 5. That's my top 5. J.A., any thoughts?
I'd lean Colin on this one. The Old Bay wings that he brought up as number 1, like those. If you see those on a menu, you get those. I don't know what it is about them. It's just the flavors just go so well together. Traditionally, I'm not a big burn your mouth off wing guy. I do kind of fall towards the middle of the scale there for looking at the flavor chart, but mix it up every now and again. Maybe get something a little hot, but yeah, I big Old Bay guy. So a little preview of mine to this week.
I think that's just an Annapolis thing, because I would definitely try that. I have never heard of a honey Old Bay wing before in my life. It sounds very good. It's just, this is the first time Colin said is the first time I've ever heard of it. So that's got to be an
big
Annapolis
deal down here. Yeah,
type thing.
They're a big deal down here. Down up there where JA is, but where we live now in Annapolis, Maryland, it's fantastic. Yeah, it doesn't get much better than that. Honey Old Bay. Now I love a dry rub wing too, Jack. Fantastic. I didn't really know how to categorize that. It's still a wing, of course, but it's a hot, like Mesquite Grill in Doylestown, Pennsylvania. Mosquito Grill, unbelievable freaking dry rub wings, like unreal hot. They're really good.
Yeah.
Up for bar, they could be a bar week at one point.
Are you guys blue cheese or ranch guys?
Blue cheese only. If you're a ranch person, I'm out. Which Jay is a ranch guy, so I'm out on you, Jay.
I'm not a ranch guy.
I saw you kind of twitch your face.
I don't know. It's if I'm going to use one of those, I guess blue cheese would probably be the one. I don't really use those that often.
Okay. I mean, I get it. Listen, I understand the ranch grind. I do. But blue cheese is meant for a wing, right? It's meant for a wing. Now it's a Northeast thing, and it's a North thing. There's a lot of ranch in the South, which I've come to learn. That's neither here nor there. Okay. So the bar of the week, boys. We've been bouncing around. We've hit Davis's Pub. We've hit Shunk Gully. We've hit Moosehead. We've hit Seaview Inn. We've hit Half Shell Raw Bar. They are, for me, the top 10. I know it's only 5 bars, but they're in my top 10, 15 bars that I love to go to. Before we get to that, though, I know there's a lot of people that are looking to go to games as football season starting, preseason games, and also baseball season. Playoff season's right here. It's crazy. It's August, but 2 months, boom. Here's basketball and hockey season right here too. So make sure you check out our friends over at SeatGeek, guys. Use promo code Colin Thompson, one word, COLIN, THOMPSON. check us out. Check them out. Hook yourself up. $20 off any ticket order, $50 or more. Promo code Colin Thompson, my name together, full name. Check it out. Okay, so our bar of the week this week is Bow Campers in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. It is right in the Coral Ridge area towards North Fort Lauderdale. Shout out to the Husky family, a buddy of mine in Fort Lauderdale. We went there all the time. So Bow Campers, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. It's right on the water. It's right on the intercoastal. It's 2 blocks from the beach, and then it's right on the intercoastal. So it is an unbelievable place. All the boats are going up and down the intercoastal. The bridge is being lifted up for the sailboats and for the big yachts that come through. Fort Lauderdale is the yacht capital of the world, so you have all the boats and all the activity with that. TVs, you're not going to get any better than that. They're the greatest TV system ever. It's a 5 out of 5. Beer, 4 out of 5. Service, 4 out of 5. And food and ambiance, it's a 5 out of 5. Really good bar food, and the ambiance you're never going to beat because literally you're on the water. Every boat's going by. It's a really cool place where tourists go to, locals go to. It's just an awesome bar. So Bow Campers in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Check it out. That's our bar of the week here at the Colin Thompson Show. All right, guys. So we got a lot done today. We talked a little bit about Taylor Heineke. Preseason update on my end. We are finishing the Wofford College part of our training camp, and we have 2 more days here, Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday. 3 more days. We leave Wednesday afternoon. We're back to Charlotte. We have Fan Fest in Charlotte on Thursday, and then we travel Friday, play the Washington Commanders in Washington. That's why we released the Taylor Heineke episode this week. Play them on Saturday. And then on Sunday, back to Charlotte. And then Monday, we fly to New England for joint practices. So that's 2 Mondays from now. So lots going on. We're in the thick of training camp. There's plenty of drama starting to happen around the league, as people are seeing. There's going to be plenty more of that coming along. But just an awesome training camp so far. Love what our team's doing. Lots of fun, lots of competition in all positions. It's been great. We have a tight-knit team. It's crazy how the team's changed in just 3 years. I've been blessed to be here now. It's my 3rd training camp in Carolina. So really excited. And that's kind of the preseason update for me. We talked guardian caps. We talked our wings, which is our top 5. Looking forward to what yours are going to be tomorrow, Justin, or this week. I'm going to be very critical. And then we hit the bar of the week, which is Bow Campers in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. So that does it for me, boys. Anything from you guys here before we wrap up?
I think we touched on everything. Again, great conversation on the Guardian Caps, like we mentioned. I think we got a great episode this week with Taylor Heineke. I'm excited to see the reaction to that one, all the social media clips we've been cooking up for that.
Guys, if you know sleep better, check out our friends at Som Sleep. Promo code Colin. You're getting tickets to a football game, to a baseball game. Promo code Colin Thompson at SeatGeek. Fudge Kitchen, the best. FudgeKitchens.com, shipping fudge and sweet treats across the country. And our friends over at Wealth Advisory Services, awesome to have them back. They are the best in the business, and I'm so lucky to have them in my corner. WealthAdvisoryServices.com. Guys, we're going to send it over to the Taylor Heineke interview. Taylor, really appreciate you joining us. I think you guys are really going to enjoy this one. Thanks for tuning in.